Sure. As I said earlier, the department, we do have a virtualization first policy. Every device, and believe me, we come from the day, and we've been doing virtualization for years. We started out with GSX up to EXX now, and whatever version we're on. But you know, I remember the day where I was, you know, the tech that, you know, we wanted to hug and kiss and feed our servers. Right. We had to touch it every time. Right. But in trying
you talk to it like it was a human being?
Sometimes you did, like, come on, don't fail me now.
Yeah, that's how I used to separate, like, the software engineers from the operators. The ones that, like, talked to the machines like they were human beings, they were the software engineer guys.
Yeah, and sometimes, you know, I guess it made us feel better, of course. But when you move from that framework, what we're looking at, again, one of the things that the department, the idea was to move away from brick and mortar, not to have all this, you sure. talked about force place and air conditioning, things of that nature. In the legacy buildings, those places were normally integrated with people. So you had a data center on one side of the wall and people on the other right. side using the same environmentals. And we know that normally the environmentals to keep the power and electricity going for an air for a data center, it costs much more than people space. So when we're looking at reducing the footprint, when we're looking at when we reduce the footprint by looking at virtualization, one of the things that Joe talked about was the documentation, or as far as we talked about the governance board, right. having that board there. You have to have a team of knowledgeable professionals there also that will be able to evaluate those devices on a criteria, a consistent criteria as well. Right. So you're not doing one thing for one side and not doing the same shared thing for the other side. So absolutely. When you take all of those services and put them together, you come up with a governance board, or you come up with your policies and procedures for the department. Again, that's how we came up with virtualization first. The Cloud Computing Governance Board also has similar criteria that they actually come together, and it's just not just, and actually my deputy CEO, you have levels at that high that sit on the board, and they are concerned and they want to know how we're managing the environment at the department and how we're servicing those customers that are beyond our direct immediate bureau.
Sure.